Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the all-new refreshed Tesla Model 3. So I want to talk a little bit about the Model 3 currently. Currently the Model 3, great car, been around since 2017, 2018, and there's a standard range, long range, and performance model as of today, topping out at $53,000 starting for the performance. And for the standard range, $40,000. So that's kind of the price range. And now I want to talk about a little bit what the experience is with our current Model 3. So Model 3, we have long range. That's about 330 miles on a charge-ish. In real life, kind of a lot less. The Model 3 is one of the best-selling Tesla vehicles. It's got kind of a skateboard platform, so all the batteries are on the bottom. It is best-selling after Model Y. Model Y will probably get refreshed next year with a lot of similar tweaks, such as the lighting, the interior, and some performance improvements, although I'll get to that a little bit later when we talk about the new Model 3 Highland, which is already available for order in China, and then talk about some other price cuts for Model S and X. All right, so like I mentioned, we currently have a Model 3 long range. I love it. It's a wonderful car, super fast. The efficiency is great. We've taken on lots of road trips, put on 15,000 miles on that car in only a year, and it's been wonderful. Super reliable, super quick, very comfortable. However, a big difference with the current Model 3 and the new Model 3 is a lot of the luxury improvements. So first of those is that the current Model 3, and it didn't start out this way, has acoustic glass on the windshield and on the driver and passenger doors. So this is like double pane glass. However, the rear doors do not have that. And so one of the complaints that a lot of customers have is that you have a lot of sound coming in from the back seats. And so what Tesla has done to improve this is added double pane glass also on those rear doors. So hopefully the sound insulation is a little bit better. Now, the interior of the current Model 3, I actually quite like it. So if you get a black interior, you get some wood trim. And if you do white interior, it's also white trim on the dash. I like if it was possible to get wood trim with the white, but that's not really an option right now. And that might be changing. So with the new Model 3, you get ambient lighting throughout the car, and you get a different trim on the dashboard. So some of them might be like a fabric material, maybe the wood in the future, and potentially you'll be able to customize this trim piece that's on the dash. This is a little bit different from the current Model 3, where you get the trim coming onto the door. This was somewhat of like a mid-cycle refresh that they did, where the Model 3, when it came out, did not have anything on the doors as far as like the trim from the dash, and then they updated it to have a little bit of it come into the door. And so they're kind of going back to that original design. All right, so now I want to talk a little bit about performance improvements on the new Model 3. It's a little odd that I'm standing in front of a Hemi V8 in the Dodge Charger. However, this is going away and becoming an EV in the future. So I thought it fitting. But the new Model 3 is using the same motors and the same batteries as the current Model 3. It is just a mid-cycle refresh. Like from the side profile, it's pretty much the same vehicle. However, they've been able to redesign everything in such a way that you get a lower coefficient of drag, the lowest of all the Tesla vehicles, which means you get a 12% increase in range. Now, EPA numbers are not out yet. However, from what we're seeing in European numbers, which is a different standard, it's about 430 kilometers-ish. Now, we don't know the EPA numbers, like I said, so we'll have to wait, as this car is slated to come to America in early 2024, whereas in China, you can order this currently. Now, that's also the same for the UK, where it's going to come in early 2024, and the rest of Europe will get it probably before that, so end of year-ish. Now, the biggest changes, like I mentioned, are design. You have new headlights with integrated fog lights, so you no longer have fog lights down at the bottom. And the rear trunk is actually one piece with the rear taillights. So when the trunk goes up, the taillights also go up, which means they had to integrate those extra taillights in the bottom where the reflectors are. So when you open the trunk, the brake lights will move down there as per law in the US. So a lot of cars will do that, such as the Audi Q5, Audi Q7, where when the hatch goes up. then the lights shift down. Other than that, not a ton of changes. Obviously, there's no stalks on the steering wheel, so all the controls are on it. Your turn signals, your shifting is now like the Model S and Model X, where you do it in the screen, and your windshield wipers are also on the steering wheel. That covers most of the changes, whereas in the rear, there's also one last really cool change. So if you've seen a Model S or X, when you sit in the rear seats, how do you control your climate control? Well, there's actually a screen attached to the rear of the center console where you can control the climate control, you can watch Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, everything else on there. And they've integrated this also in the new Model 3. So you get kind of that ability to customize your rear climate control without asking the front driver to adjust it for you. And a big plus for the new Model 3 that I wish we had in ours is that you can actually turn off the passenger fan. So if they don't want to have climate control on the passenger seat, but I want it, then you can now separate that. And you get ventilated seats. So that's something I wish we had, but it's okay. I'm glad it's finally coming to the Model 3, and we can expect it to come to the Model Y maybe next year. So that really rounds out everything that I want to talk about for the new refreshed Tesla Model 3 for 2024. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one when the performance model is released. Hey, so Editor Ollie, I forgot to mention the big updates to the current lineup at the end of the video. So the Model S now starts at $75,000 for the long-range model, and the long-range Model X starts at $79,990, which means it now qualifies for the $7,500 tax credit. So that's huge. And on both Model S and X, all the colors are a free upgrade. So you can go for the ultra red, the blue, the black, whatever you want, and it won't cost extra. So you can stay under that $7,500 tax credit limit of $80,000 for the Model X and get any color you want. Now, you can't obviously add anything else, so you have to keep the 5-seat configuration, and tow package is included. But yeah, you can't change the configuration or the interior colors because those will put you over the 80,000. But yeah, those are pretty important improvements to the lineup currently, and I think a lot more orders are going to go in for that Model X because it now qualifies. Model S, though, if you want a plaid, only costs $89,000. I say only because only a year ago that car would have cost $120,000. So huge improvements. Wanted to mention that. No other pricing changes to the Model Y or 3 currently, and again, you cannot order the new Model 3 refresh in the US yet, only in China currently. And you can get huge discounts on the Model 3 that are in inventory right now. I've seen them discounted huge amounts, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in some cases. You can get a Model 3 Performance for like $47,000 in some cases. So I think that's actually a good deal, and there is no reason to really wait because it is kind of just a mid-cycle refresh. It's not dramatic changes that will affect the daily use of it very much, other than maybe there not being stocks anymore. So if you really wanted a Model 3, this is actually a great time because they are so heavily discounted, and you still get the $7,500 tax credit, and performance is relatively the same. Range is very similar, like I said, 12% difference. So I think if you're interested in one, go for it, because now there will probably be maybe even more discounts, as they've already announced the new Model 3 Highland. Again, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one when hopefully they reveal more stats about the Model 3 Performance refresh.